From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast with Wish TV's Kylie Conway. A Wish TV News 8 update.
Hi, I'm Kylie Conway, and this is your News 8 Daily 8 for Thursday, February 9th. Windy and damp conditions this morning, and winds are going to turn up strong for a good chunk of the day. Sustained winds around 25 to 35 miles per hour, gusts up to 50 to 60 miles per hour. Power outages and tree damage is possible. Travel's also going to be difficult. We've had some big traffic issues already this morning, especially difficult for those high-profile vehicles. Be on the lookout for those semis passing you by. Isolated strong to severe storm chances will also stick around through the rest of the morning. Damaging winds continue to be the primary threat. As far as rainfall is concerned, this afternoon, some areas in central Indiana will see up to an inch of rain, with locally higher amounts possible in west central Indiana. Temperature-wise, that's the best news of the day. We're going to get just above 60 degrees today before temperatures drop into the 30s and 40s by sunset. From Team-8, IMPD is explaining how it decided which portions of body camera video to release following police shootings in Indianapolis. This week, the department released part of the video from the shooting of a man in his grandmother's driveway. Team-8's Richard Essex digs into the reasons why we're not seeing all of it.
IMPD has not released all the video from this shooting. I am told a committee made of several dozen people from different racial and gender backgrounds make the decision on what video is released and how it is presented.
It's also important to provide context of what happened. A community group that we've worked with, a group of 50 individuals approximately, who have watched these videos and have advised IMPD on what they expect to see.
And what the committee has chosen for you to see is intense. On the morning of New Year's Eve, Anthony Macklin was asleep in a rental car in the driveway of his grandmother's house. His grandmother called police because she didn't recognize the car in her driveway.
There's a car backed up in my driveway, and it seems like it's still running. And I turned off my...
Okay, what color is the vehicle?
Black. It looks black.
Prior to the shooting, the three officers are seen on video shining their flashlights into the rental car. One of the officers says Macklin has a gun.
He's got a gun right on his lap.
IMPD provided three different angles of the shooting. Officer Gregory is standing to the left of the first officer. He taps on the rear passenger side window.
Hands up!
He backs away from the car as he fires. The third perspective is from Officer Riley. He is standing well behind the car and is heard telling the others what to do if Macklin reaches for the gun.
All right, let's go ahead and wake him up. I'm going to stand right here. Chandler, if he draws on that gun or does anything, yell. Yeah. Police department! Police! Hands! Police!
The video continues with Macklin getting out of the car and the three officers tending to his injuries. You can hear Macklin's grandmother in the background saying that is her grandson. Macklin survived the shooting. He is pursuing legal action against the department and the officers involved, which is another reason IMPD does not release all of the video.
And what we're trying to do is balance transparency with also protecting the rights of the individuals involved. Once the case has been disposed of, prosecutors may determination about whether or not charges would be filed or not. We don't see any reason why the entire video wouldn't be released.
Once the prosecutor's office has made their decision, the civilian majority use of force board will be the last portion of IMPD's internal investigation of this case. In Indianapolis, Richard Essex, Wish TV, Team-8.
IMPD, the police chief, and the city no longer face a federal lawsuit over a deadly downtown shooting. A judge has dismissed the claim from the family of Christopher Beatty. He was a former IU football player who was well known and well liked in the city. He was shot to death as investigators say he tried to stop a robbery during rioting in the summer of 2020. Beatty's family filed a wrongful death suit citing the actions and inactions of the city and police. A judge rejected the claims yesterday, saying the suit failed to prove the city created or increased danger downtown during the riot. In her decision, the judge says, unfortunately, while acting as a good Samaritan, the danger for Beatty was created by Beatty and not by the defendants. The Indianapolis Housing Agency faces a new lawsuit over a data breach, a ransomware attack on the IHA exposed personal information of thousands of people, including a man who says someone stole his social security number because of it. The suit seeks money for the plaintiff and class action status so others can join the claim. The IHA has not commented on the suit. The mayor appoints the director of the agency. A statement from Joe Hogshead's office says, "We will monitor litigation developments and consult with IHA as necessary, but we do not currently have any further comment on the lawsuit's allegations." And Wish TV is Indiana's education station. And this morning, students and parents are urging Hamilton Southeastern leaders to accept federal mental health funding. The school board tabled the decision on the $5.7 million grant for now. News 8's Cody Adams explains the reaction.
Good morning. More than 20 people signed up for public comment last night at the board meeting. Many of them said that this grant would be a safety net for students. The money would expand mental health services at Hamilton Southeastern schools, including hiring more counselors and mental health providers. The grant comes from the bipartisan Safer Communities Act. It would be spread out over 5 years. School board member Suzanne Thomas said on social media that she's concerned about what will happen after the 5 years as far as funding goes. She says it could be a financial strain on the school corporation. She also says schools should be about educating students, not providing professional medical care. Some who spoke at the meeting disagree.
If the board cannot see a gift, a $5.7 million grant to help address some of these problems, then you are really out of touch with the community you're serving.
To others less fortunate, this grant could literally be a lifeline. Now, I realize as a board, you have a lot of really, really tough decisions to make during your term. This, friends, is not one of them.
The meeting lasted about 4 hours last night, ending with the school board requesting that the discussion be tabled. They will table it until next week's school board meeting. The grant was initially approved January 1st. They have 180 days to allocate that money. In front of Hamilton Southeastern High School, Cody Adams, Wish TV, wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook.
And business headlines. Walt Disney CEO Bob Iger is shaking up the company, and that is going to result in 7,000 people losing their jobs as part of an effort to achieve $5.5 billion in cost savings. The Mouse House, which is under pressure to turn a profit from its streaming business, said it would reorganize into 3 segments: an entertainment unit that encompasses film, television, and streaming, a sports-focused ESPN unit, and Disney Parks, experiences, and products. Shopping mall giant Simon Property Group plans to put more money into at least one of the retail brands it owns after it says its retailers underperformed in 2022. Analysts say retail must improve if the company is going to reach its potential. That's especially true given the company faces rising costs, including higher interest expenses on its debt. Cummins says there is solid North American demand for new trucks for at least the first half of 2023. If the Chinese market recovers, look for a possible profit spike. Pent-up demand for new equipment remains a positive tailwind. The wild card for Cummins is the China market, which through the end of 2022 ran at its lowest level in a decade, but the country may be looking to buy more trucks. The rollout of Google's highly anticipated ChatGPT rival Bard turned into a $100 billion embarrassment. The AI chatbot spit out inaccurate information in a company advertisement. Shares of Google parent Alphabet plunged 7.4%, losing the equivalent of $100 billion in market value as social media users reacted to Bard's flub. Breakfast at Taco Bell has been saved, and the chain has Pete Davidson to thank. Sales of Taco Bell's breakfast burritos and egg-stuffed quesadillas jumped 9% in the fourth quarter of last year. In October, Taco Bell hired the former Saturday Night Live star to spearhead a new ad campaign for its breakfast menu. People were also looking for bargain food. Twitter takes away a key tool from outside developers. Free API access ends this morning. API stands for Application Programming Interface, and it allows third parties to access Twitter data for their own applications and research. Many large accounts often use the platform to send automatic tweets throughout the day. Now they'll no longer be able to do that without paying. Twitter CEO Elon Musk says the paid program will now cost about $100 a month. And the change comes after a brief outage on the platform. Thousands of Twitter users say they were unable to tweet, send direct messages, or follow new accounts yesterday afternoon and evening. According to Down Detector, the outage peaked just after 5 last night. At that point, it showed more than 9,000 people reporting outages. Right now, as of about 8:30 Thursday morning, it had 65 people reporting problems, which was up from about 20 earlier in the morning. And former Twitter executives say they made a mistake by slowing the spread of a story about Hunter Biden in the lead up to the 2020 election. The former leaders of the social media giant testified before the House Oversight Committee yesterday. They say the decision came out of fear that the story was fake and an outside effort to affect America's election.
It isn't obvious what the right response is to a suspected but not confirmed cyber attack by another government on a presidential election. I believe Twitter erred in this case because we wanted to avoid repeating the mistakes of 2016.
I was not aware of and certainly did not engage in any conspiracy or other effort to do anything unethical, improper, or unlawful while I was at Twitter, period. I did not act unlawfully or otherwise inappropriately in any manner with respect to Hunter Biden's laptop.
The former executives pushed back on Republican claims that Democrats and law enforcement agencies pressured them to suppress the story. And finally, the Indianapolis Zoo is in line for a new honor. It's a nominee for USA Today's Reader's Choice Awards. The zoo currently sits at 4th out of 10, just ahead of Cincinnati and just behind Philadelphia. Voting ends Monday, March 6th. This has been your News 8 Daily 8 for Wish TV. I'm Kylie Conway. Online at wishtv.com and follow us on Facebook when you search Wish TV.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast with Wish TV's Kylie Conway. A Wish TV News 8 update on demand. For even more, on demand and on the go. Connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening. And be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.